Alright, brush monkeys, welcome back. This week we're looking at the Arco-Flagellants miniatures from the Sisters of Battle box set. And these are, essentially they are people, usually heretics or cultists, that have been captured and sentenced to the process of arco-flagellation, which is turning them into, basically their hands are removed and replaced with these whips. They've got these neural implants installed in their heads, and they're essentially, they've got a bunch of combat stims, combat chemicals that are pumped into their system in the back there. And these are people basically that are just turned into melee combat servitors, that their sole purpose is just to charge into battle and die gloriously for the Emperor. If they live, they're brought on to the next battle. If they die, oh well, they were meant to anyway. So they're kind of grim people. The only thing really worse than arco-flagellation punishment is the penitent engine, and we'll get into that next week. So this is like the grimness of the grim darkness of the 41st century. These are also the only ones that are on 25mm bases for some reason. They got these tiny little bases. Ooh, excuse me. But we're going to get into painting these. I'm going to do them kind of the same way I did the Repentia last week, except with the Repentia I used the, if I can find it again, with the Repentia I used the, there it is, the Wraithbone base for the contour paints. I can't talk today for some reason. Contrast paints, not contour. But I used Wraithbone as the basis for that. And it's kind of this nice warm kind of bone color. And it looks really good for living flesh. With the Arco-Flagellants, because I want them to look kind of sickly and unhealthy, I'm using Gray Seer as the base for those. And it's going to come out quite a bit cooler, not quite a natural skin tone. But I'm going to be using that with the Guilliman flesh, or excuse me, Dark Oath flesh thinned over the top of that. And so they're going to look really pale and kind of sickly. And then I'll probably use a little bit of, if I can find it, there it is, the Carroburg Crimson. I'm going to use just a little bit of that around the places where the implants are put on, just to make them look a little red and raw. And then I'll use steel and brass for the metal parts. We'll kind of figure it out from there. I'm thinking I'm probably going to use something like, Basilicanum Gray for the clothing, rather than black like I did on the, or the gray that I did on the Repentia. I want these to look a little more dirty and raw and unhealthy, because the Repentia are basically being punished because they screwed up. But there's a chance they could be redeemed and returned back to status as full Sisters of Battle. The Arco-Flagellants are essentially prisoners that will not be redeemed. Their only hope of redemption is to die in battle. And so this is a death sentence. This isn't jail term. So there's no hope for these people. They are going to die eventually. So I want them to look kind of expendable, for lack of a better term. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start the base coats on the skin and the clothing, and then we'll come back and take a look at how they look. All right. So I'll be back in a little bit. Bye. Alright, I'm back, and I've made some progress on the Arco-Flagellants. As you can see, I've got the skin tones done. I'm going to zoom in on this person here. Try to get a decent shot, because they don't want to cooperate. Alright, so I've got the skin tones done. I got the clothes done. I got the face looks a little messed up because she's wearing this leather mask. But I got that painted on there. I got all the metallics done. I got the base started. All the metallics painted up on that. And I've got the white base down on the injectors in the back. With those, I'm going to do, I've got these three paints here. This red, blue, and green. Those are going to be my the chemical injections back there. They're going to be their combat stems. And you can see I've got some bronze pieces done on these other guys. I still need to do the white of the lenses on their eyes. And I need to shade wash them. So I'm going to go ahead and do the lenses. And then I'm going to take a break and let all that dry. And then when I come back, I'll shade wash them. And then you can see how that looks. Alright. And I'll also probably do the, once I do the shade wash, I'll also do the Carroburg Crimson around their implants. And they should be close to done. I mean, these guys went together pretty fast. With the skin and the clothes being contrast paints and the majority of the figure being metallics, there's really not a whole lot to go down on this. But like I said, I'll shade wash them all, and then I'll come back and you'll see what the finish. You'll see what they look like at that point. All right. See you soon. All right. Again, we've made some progress here, as you can see on this scale. Done the shade washes of the metal parts and the base. The shade wash of the base is going to take the longest to dry, but she's looking pretty good. And I got the eye lenses done on all of them, and I've got all the, you see I've got the red, the Carroburg Crimson painted around the implants, and they're all looking kind of sore and angry looking. I really like that. So yeah, the bases are going to take a little bit to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and take another pause for that. And then when I get back, I will paint the chemical injectors on their backs, these little things here, and cork them for painting the base bands. And I think I'm probably going to do, I've got my Necron compound here. I may do a light dry brush across the metallic parts just so they don't look quite so dirty. Give them a little bit of an edging highlight there. And yeah, so once I get those little details done, the injectors and the dry brushing on the metallics and that kind of thing, depending on how the bases come out, I may do another wash on there because I want them to look pretty dirty. I may do some weathering pigments on there, but then we're going to put them on the corks, paint the base bands to match the rest of the army, and these guys are pretty close to being done. So I'm pretty happy with how they're coming out. Like I said, just a couple little details left to do, and then we'll be banging them out. All right. So I'll see you in a bit. All right. As you can see, the shade wash has dried. I have dry brushed the metallics on these characters. Get up nice and close there, yeah. So you can see I dry brushed the electronics, or the steels. I painted the injectors. It comes out quite a bit lighter on this than it probably should. Get up close, there you go. And the eye lenses are all painted. Metallics are all dry brushed. And I've got them on their corks, so they are ready to have the base bands painted. And if you can see on there, when I dry brush the steels, I also put a little line of steel along the injectors to make that look like glass. When I'm done painting these when I'm done painting the base bands, I will go back and paint those injectors with some gloss varnish, just to make it look like glass on the injectors. But as you can see, overall they are looking pretty spiffy. So I've got them on corks now, obviously, and we're going to paint the base bands and do the metallic red on the base bands, and then they'll be ready to be matte sealed and have the injectors gloss coated. And once that's all done, they'll be done. So the next time you see these guys and gal, they will be completely finished. So we'll go ahead and pause it now and paint up the base bands, and then we'll wrap this up. All right, see you soon. Alright, brush monkeys, as promised, the Arco-Flagellants are done. See, their base bands are all painted. I've got the injectors on their backs gloss coated. I've got their eye lenses gloss coated for the two that have eye lenses. And I'm going to call these characters done. I know this was a really short video, but again, it's 3-person unit, not a 5 or 10 person unit. And with the contrast paints, they go together pretty fast. So yeah, so they're finished and they're ready for the battlefield. I'm going to go put them with the rest of the army. And next week will be the first of 2 parts of the Penitent engine build. And well, it's already built and primered, but it'll be first of 2 parts of the Penitent engine painting and assembly, because it's actually put together in several assemblies. But we'll get into that next week. For right now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing these Arco-Flagellants come together, and I look forward to seeing how they play on the battlefield. So I will see you guys next week. Thanks a lot. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like. If you want to find out when new videos get posted, click subscribe. Comment below on what you want to see on future videos. Visit our Patreon site for lots of ways that you can support me in doing what I do. You can also visit our Instagram and Facebook pages to see all the miniatures that I paint on this channel, and see how you can get your hands on one of your own. So thanks a lot for your time, and thanks for watching my videos, and I will see you guys later. Bye.